Dude, what the fuck are we supposed to be doing with our lives? Genuinely, I'm so confused. I'm so lost. I am 23 years old, and life is one giant corn maze, and dude, I'm eating corn. Because I am super lost. Yeah, what are we supposed to do with our lives? Where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to learn? And what are we supposed to do here? I've got zero answers to those questions. So if you came here for those answers, GG, mate, you ain't getting them. I'm just a child, an actual child, just trying to do my best out here and genuinely figure out what the hell is going on, and try to understand and wrap my tiny little ladybug sized brain around this reality that we call life. And frankly, it's pretty confusing. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I don't know that it ever will make sense. Taylor Swift once said, happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time, describing the youthful age of 22, followed by the line, I'm feeling 22. That's how I know she's referencing 22. None of those are helpful. No, they're really not. I am happy, free, confused, and lonely all at the same time. Yes, I would say you hit the nail on the head, Mrs. Swift. I'm quite confused though, but I think that's all right, because I don't think anybody ever really knows what they quote unquote want to do with their lives, right? Um, I'm definitely on a journey to try to figure it out. I've done a couple things in my life. I've traveled a fair bit, gone to a fair bit. I've gone to some couple other countries. Been to Europe, been to South America, um, and I've done some solo backpacking. Gone to college, played sports in college. Um, but I have no clue what it is that we are supposed to be doing or going for. But the more that I read about other people, and the more that I try to learn from people who are not 23 and maybe a little bit older, it seems like nobody else also knows what the hell is going on. I just listened to a Tim Ferriss podcast, which, uh, nice guy. I actually don't know if he's nice. I've never met him, but he seems like a nice guy. He seems like a charming, intelligent fellow, Mr. Ferris. Um, but he one of the things that he brought up was in all the people that he interviews. Which, by the way, when he was first starting out, his whole podcast was centered around interviewing people who were the top of their field. So literally sports, academics, history. I don't know if you could be at the top of history, but you know what I mean. He would go out and he would seek out people at the top of their field, and he would interview them. And he would say, yo, bro, what's good? How do you get to be the best? And in this recent interview with him, apologies for the sniffles, I have the bubonic plague. He mentioned that a lot of the people he interviews, they are what would be deemed as on paper as successful, right? They would be, oh, look at this person, they're incredibly successful. Maybe they have a lot of money, maybe they're wife and kids or husband and kids. Maybe they're just generally happy with their lives. Maybe they're satisfied with the projects they're working on. But he interviews some highly sophisticated individuals, and he asks them, and that's literally his whole podcast, and it's pretty big, and it's pretty useful. But something that I've realized that, circling back, Jesus Christ, get to the point, Colin, is that so many of these people also don't know what they want to do when they grow up. We think that we should have it figured out, or we look around and we see other people and we think that they have it figured out. But also, as I get older, when I was younger, I really used to look up to my parents and think, wow, these guys have it figured out. And now, I don't think they had it figured out. I mean, look at me. Like, it was rough. It was rough, all right? And firsthand experience. And we think that our parents had it all figured out and sorted, and we look up to them and they know all and yada yada. But maybe around 15, 16, I really started to realize, like, dude, these guys, they don't know shit. And as I get even older, I really realized that, dude, they didn't know shit. And our parents really are just doing the best with what they had. When they birthed us, when they brought us into this world, they also didn't have it figured out. You never quite figure it out. You just get slightly better at being okay with being uncomfortable. I think I'm convinced that is really what it is. On the Tim Ferriss podcast, he when he was interviewing these people, Tim made the comment that, dude, all these people, they don't have their lives figured out. They really do just put on a brave face and confidently step into the new realm. I think that's what life is all about, is not knowing what's next and be willing to try it anyways. My slightly feminine side got the better hold of me in recent weeks, and I signed up for an improv class. Why that's a feminine thing, I'm not sure. I very much just made that up, but it slightly feels like it, right? It's tapping into the emotions, and the creativity side. And it felt slightly feminine, and dude, I had a blast, alright? And something from improv that I learned is, when it's go, 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 yikes, when it's go, 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 and you're doing scenes and you're on the spot and it's literally just you and maybe one other person, and everybody's watching you, and you don't have anything to say, dude, you just have to say something. And you don't get to think about it, you don't get to plan it out, you just say some shit. And I think that is a really fantastic analogy for life. I do, because I don't think anybody ever has it figured out. We just don't know, and then you just do it. You do it anyways. You do it because you got a feeling right here, and you want to be over there, and so you just say, you know what, I'm gonna try it. There's another quote / idea / concept. I don't even know the quote, but in sports, right? Do it scared. Okay, you never get over the fear. The fear never goes away. You just kind of learn to, wow, this is scary, and I'm gonna do it anyways. And I think anybody who's ever done anything significant in the sports world has experienced that. I watch these videos, these dudes skiing couloirs in Norway and crazy stuff like that. And they're just dropping on just crazy slopes in the middle of, it's a couloir, so look it up. And they're just running crazy lines. And you see them, these dudes are shaking. They hiked up this mountain just so they could hurdle at 100 miles an hour on basically a surfboard. And these dudes are terrified. But that's kind of the beauty of it, isn't it? It's being confused and not knowing the answers and being okay when and not knowing the answers and trying it anyways. I really think that's most of life, is just being okay with being uncomfortable and accepting the ambiguity. Because there's really what else is there to it? You know, if nobody ever figures it out, we don't have the answers. So we gotta be okay with asking the questions. Oh, dude, I'm gonna sneeze. Ah, bless you. Ah. All right, we're good. There's this song called, it's kind of a song, but it's this dude who basically gave advice to a graduating class. But it's also a song. It's called "Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen" by Baz Luhrmann. All right. It's and he just kind of gives his life advice to this graduating class. And one of the things that he mentions, or says, is don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. So kind of golden. Kind of golden. We never figured out. That's the whole theme of this thing. I'm just going to keep saying that over and over again. Not even for you. Just because I don't know what the fuck life is going to look like. And so it makes me feel better. To not know. So thank you for being an enabler. Henry. Actually, before I hit you with some David Thoreau, the new David Chapelle Netflix special, Dreamers, chef's kiss. Actually, slightly overrated in my opinion. But it was decent. It was decent. But something that Dave Chappelle put at the beginning of his thing. Oh, dude, this quote by Henry David Thoreau. Here we go, baby. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. He will put some things behind, will pass an invisible boundary. New, universal, and more liberal laws will begin to establish themselves around and within him. Or the old laws be expanded and interpreted in his favor in a more liberal sense, and he will live with the license of a higher order of beings. So it kind of sounds to me like this guy's playing God, but I mean, he did go into the woods one time and just hug trees, so he's got to have something good to say. But that was a cool. I like that. It's like you don't know, and you going anyways, right? It seems like we just have this feeling from within, this guttural just instinct or something we're passionate in, and we want to go do that thing, but we inhibit ourselves. Whether it's because of society or the impressions of our family or friends, or maybe it's the stability. Maybe it's the stability of our job. But something that I think it's Jordan Peterson ? Talks about is that even a stable job isn't as stable as we might think it is. There could always be a recession. There could be a depression. There could be layoffs. The company could close. The macro market could ask for something else, so maybe the company is no longer providing what the market needs. There's a whole host of reasons, but even choosing a secure job is still a risk in itself. And even if it's not a risk in a financial sense, it's a risk with our lives. Like it's our lives that we're living, and to just roll over and accept something that somebody else gave us, doesn't that feel a little risky? Like you're risking your freedom. You're risking your ability to live a life you want. Like that to me seems like a greater risk than the financial. I say all this as I have a stable job, so it's not even risky in the slightest. But yeah, I think we're supposed to step into the unknown. I think we're supposed to try new things. I think we're supposed to try new things and really follow your passions. Follow your passions. Russ has a good line that says, "Chase your passions, don't chase the money." And it sounds a lot better in the song, but I think we are supposed to do that. I think we're supposed to follow our intuition. I recently found out that that was a big thing in the Buddhism community, religion, question mark. I'm not Buddhist, nor do I have a heavy influence of Buddhism in my life. But I found this idea from Buddhism, supposedly, is that they put a high... Oh, I think it was from Steve Jobs' biography. Is that the Buddhists, they place a high value on intuition. And we want to consciously think about things and plan our lives and do all these things, but I'm not so sure. And it sounds like Mr. Buddha isn't either. I don't think we're supposed to have it all figured out. I don't think we're supposed to have 2 + 2 = 4. I think we really are supposed to gamble sometimes. And I think we're supposed to follow what feels right. And it sounds pretty hippy dippy, not gonna lie. Sounds pretty a lot like something from someone from Colorado would say. Yeah. But I don't think we're supposed to bind ourselves up in a life that restricts us. We're not supposed to feel like we're suffocating. I really don't think that's a fantastic feeling. And so I don't think we're supposed to set ourselves up to do that. And maybe in the short term, right? This is all I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be able to be in a position to even try to work towards my goals. And I know a lot of other people are not afforded that luxury. But I think a lot more of us could step more confidently in the direction of our dreams than we think. And we make excuses and we don't have the time and yada yada. But again, I don't think anybody truly knows it's going to work out. But if you don't try, if you don't even work towards it, then the answer is going to be no. I think we at least have to, I think we owe it to ourselves to give ourselves a fighting chance and at least try to step towards something that we're passionate about. And if that means working extra just so that we can do those things, to me personally, it's worth it. Like, have your opinions, but I would rather work I would rather work extra hours each day, so that I can work towards my dreams. Dan Coe talks about if you can work 8 hours for somebody else's dream, can't you work 1 hour towards your own? And dude, I love that. Okay, another quote time. This one's Mr. Steve Jobs. This one is fantastic. Love this one. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something. Your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. So good. So good. That one really helped me. And it in concordance with this next final quote that I'll be sharing. That I don't even know this dude. His name's Soren Kierkegaard, and I don't know who that is. But he said a cool quote, so I'm gonna share it. He said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." We don't know what life's gonna be. We don't know how it's gonna turn out, or what we're gonna do, or how we're gonna live. But if we ain't stepping confidently towards our dreams, what the fuck are we doing? Really, I think it is every day. Every day at a time. How do you eat an elephant? A one bite at a time. You know, like, I don't know why you're eating elephants in the first place. Seems kind of odd to me. I don't think they'd be that tasty anyways. Not to mention they're probably endangered. But I think we are supposed to confidently step towards our dreams. I think we are supposed to work towards things that we enjoy. Previously, historically, I don't even know. But when these dudes fought the American Revolution, they really didn't have this opportunity. But here we are, some couple hundred years later, and the internet exists. And we no longer have to sell carrots. Is that what people sell? Used to sell? Or flowers on the side of the street. We can sell, we can provide services, and we have a body of knowledge and expertise right up here, both that we learn and we're also born with. And we can now provide those things directly to the end user client. We can help people. We just have to figure out how and in what capacity. We are all capable of incredible things and are very good at a select couple of things, or at least better than the person behind us. We're better than other people, and if we're better than somebody at something, that means we can teach people things. And once we're all teaching each other things, we're all getting better. And that didn't really make much sense, but I really do think we're here to help people, and I think that we can provide things that we're good at and our expertise directly to other people. Ultimately, that is what I'm trying to do here with this here podcast. Is just share the shit I know. Is just share things I learn, and hopefully you learn something. If not, hopefully you were mildly entertained. Probably not. But if you learn things, dude, let me know. Let me know, dude. I want to learn things. I want to learn things, and I want to get better at things. So that's the whole goal. Share things I know, learn things I don't. If you got some of those things, let me know. In the meantime, enjoy your carrots. All right. Peace.